And we are back a day later. Usually I would hold this in usually a week format, but I felt like with this topic, I didn't want to wait a whole week by the time it probably died down. So no ain't no time like the present. I got my boys with here. We got Father back with us,
Hello.
and we got Dion back with us.
Is this what a caged animal feels like? Cause I got oh man.
Do you
Let's
know why
go.
the cage? Do you know why the cage first thing, Dion?
You trying to be funny, but nah, let's get into this.
Because Tory Lane shot her in the foot, and that's what we're talking about today.
Oh, you foul for
Because
that. You foul for that.
and that's what we are talking about today. Because Megan Thee Stallion was on Instagram Live. I think it was Instagram Live, and she basically told everybody, "Yeah, it was Tory Lanez that shot her in the foot," and everybody knew. I think everybody knew. We just wanted to hear the word of mouth, and as usual, the Twitter dragging begins, and they've been dragging them all day. Gentlemen, how do you feel now? All this shit done came out to fruition.
You can go ahead.
Dion, Dion, you want to start first?
Okay, so first thing I wanted to say, this is to this to Megan Thee Stallion herself. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna clown this lady because she went through a traumatic, potentially fatal experience. You know, so I'm not gonna like clown her, make fun of her, nothing like that. Like a lot of people was doing that I saw. Which, if I may address them real quick, you motherfuckers ain't shit. There's no other way for me to say that. You motherfuckers ain't shit. Y'all realize that this woman could have died in that car, bro. Like this pussy nigga pulled a gun on what I'm assuming was an unarmed woman, man. And is people literally laughing at her for being shot. You motherfuckers who was making all these jokes and shit, directed at Meg Thee Stallion, disrespecting her for what happened to her and shit. All of y'all ain't shit. And I pray to God every one of y'all hear this. Y'all ain't shit. Now, as for what I want to say to Meg Thee Stallion herself, I get her kind of wanting to avoid taking this whole thing to the police and this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? I get the state of the world politically. I get the state of things when it comes to the black community and everything. But at the same time, shorty, this man don't deserve your protection. This nigga could have killed you, ma. For real. So, I I respect the fact that you wanted to keep him from that level of, I guess the word to use is persecution or whatever, where it went to the police and shit. But at the end of the day, look, your life was potentially in danger. You have no reason to protect this dude. Whatever, you know what I'm saying? Press charges and whatever happens to this motherfucker happens. Cause he could have hit you somewhere else, God knows where, and you wouldn't have been around to tell your story. Also, now, okay, now we're gonna get to. I don't want to say this motherfucker's name. Like the thought of this cat makes me sick now to that degree. I don't want to say this nigga's name, but you wrong for what you did. Point blank. Period. There is no possible way you can refer to yourself as any form of a man. None whatsoever. Let me tell you something. You literally just in one fell swoop in one stupid action embodied every negative motherfucking stereotype about black men, about short men. So me being both a black man and a short man, also like dog, I hate you right now. You just made black men look bad. You made short men look bad. You know how they talk about, oh, well, short niggas is always so quick to fight, the whole Napoleon complex and shit like that. You know, often I've personally had to hear that shit. So You know, thanks for perpetuating that stereotype, you dumb fuck. See, the only way I think this nigga can redeem himself, and then even still, I don't think this will work, dog. Turn yourself in and apologize to that woman. That's literally the only way I see him like remotely saving face, and I still don't think that'll work. Like, dog, you're through. I I normally don't agree with the whole cancel culture thing, but this is one situation where like I'll make an exception because this nigga just ooh you fucked up to a magnificent degree, dog. Like I don't know what else to say about that shit. Yeah, man, y'all go ahead. I needed to get that out my damn system because damn, thinking about this shit is just it's pretty obvious I'm mad about this shit. But yeah, go ahead.
Father.
So the better part of my day went to checking each and every motherfucker that thought the shit was funny, that thought it was funny to meme about this woman's situation, that thought that this woman's trauma was something to make jokes about. And like you can tell a lot of people are really mad right now. If you look at social media, a lot of people are very angry. A lot of black women are angry and a lot of black men are angry. I know because I've retweeted a lot of the shit that I've retweeted that was advocating for Megan Thee Stallion was from black men. So I'm glad to see that there's still a lot of black men out here that ain't on that goofy shit. Now, the one thing that I want to really touch on with this is the lack of masculinity in the black community because it's gone on for way too long. We've had niggas that think that, oh, the more pussy you get, the more of a man you get. You know what I'm saying? They get to replace their principles and their values and their, identity as a man with how much money is in their bank account. And they play this game with women to where, like they literally devalue them and then expect them to, just take the shit. So me being the type of nigga that I am, I don't like that shit. I've never really liked that shit. I've never really resonated with it, even as a young age. So right now, seeing that this woman could have potentially died, and the thing that really bothers me is that we just lost Pop Smoke not too long ago, and this was a brother he was rising. He was like, he was literally on the rise. Like this man has so much potential to be something great. He was giving us bangers after bangers after bangers, and then his life was cut short just like that. You know what I'm saying? Nobody knew that when he was alive, the next day he's not going to be alive no more. His death was so sudden, we still didn't even really have the time to process what the fuck happened. You feel me? So the fact that Megan almost lost her life because some nigga thought, oh, we're arguing in this car and I'm gonna shoot her because I feel some type of way. That's some bitch shit to me. That's the literal definition of bitch assness right there. And
Thank
the
you.
thing and the thing that makes me the most upset about every single and the thing that makes me the most upset is that when she was initially like recovering from her injuries and shit, she tried to keep it, she tried to stay on code. She tried to, protect Tory. And now look at the result. Now this nigga starting to act goofy. He didn't even have the decency to reach out to her and to, at least fix the situation that they had. You know what I'm saying? Because like, if you a grown ass man and you fucked up, you're gonna do everything in your power to fix that. That's just supposed to be us as people. Like that's our nature. When there's a problem, we fix it. When niggas beef, it may take like 2, 3. It may take some time, but we'll eventually find a compromise and find a way to squash it. But when it comes to women, I don't know why a lot of these niggas feel like they have the nerve or like they have the, like the autonomy to inflict harm on them. And I'm just like, bro, like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, y'all have me, you two had like memes of each other, laughing, and like y'all look like y'all was really good friends. So why the fuck would you ever want to shoot your friend like that? What argument was so serious that you thought that you had to have an attempt on her life? And I'm sitting here and I'm watching all these motherfuckers talking about Megan's a snitch and Megan is this and Megan is that. And then there was and prior to that they were trying to say, oh, Megan looked like a man, and she's so fucking tall, you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe she was making fun of his height and trying to justify why she got shot and shit. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, all of you niggas are some bitch ass niggas, and I can really tell that a lot of you don't even know what real masculinity looks like. Because if you was a man like you said you was, you wouldn't be over here keying on the internet like a little hoe. That's some hoe ass shit. That's some shit that I would expect from like second, third graders or some shit. You know what I'm saying? But like even they had the decency to not say some shit like that. You feel me? Like, that shit right there, it really just goes to show me that black women, when it comes to their protection, a lot of them take it as a joke. A lot of them take it as like this thing where, oh, like, man, it's just jokes, we just joking. It's like, that's not something you joke about. Cause I'm pretty sure if it
Facts.
was your mama on the motherfucking news, or if it was your mama on that was trending on Twitter because her ass got outed by some situation and she was getting memed on, you'd want to swing on every single motherfucker that was talking greasy about her. So now that it's Megan Thee Stallion and she got all this platform and shit, now y'all think you got you got this leeway to just say whatever the fuck you want. You know what I'm saying? And nobody real checked you to respect the women that's out here and that's making this money. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just goes to show you that this ego that a lot of dudes got that replaced the masculinity that's supposed to be there. That shit, like, it's so fucking putrid. You know what I'm saying? We're in the midst of literal parasites out here. That's why I'm trying to organize. Like, I'm trying to really have a rallying call and really like tell these brothers, like the brothers that do right, the brothers that are masculine, the brothers that do handle their business, bro. We need to have a purge. You know what I'm saying? Like, straight up, we need to have a fucking purge because we can't keep going out like this. You know what I'm saying? Not too long ago, there was a brother on Twitter. His name is Flo, and he just spent more than a month protecting a black woman at her house in New York because her racist ass neighbors was harassing her. So he nutted up, went there, and stayed there for 40 days. That's the type of shit that we need to be putting out there in the streets. Not this little bitch ass shit when niggas is keying because a black woman got shot at. That has got to be the most, like, just, it's so fucking, I don't even have
Sickening.
the word for it. I don't even
It's
have the word
sickening.
for it. Like,
It's sickening.
sickening isn't enough. Like, it's just, it doesn't make any sense to me. It does not make any sense to me, especially if you consider yourself a grown ass man. Why the fuck would you reduce yourself to such a state? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're like, that's roach behavior. Honestly, like, that's bottom feeding, boot licking behavior. And why are we fucking condoning that type shit? You know what I'm saying? Now I see why it's so easy for black women to slander black men. Now I see why it's so easy for them to do that shit. Cause the way you niggas are going now, bruh, if I was a black woman, I'd slander y'all for days too. Cause y'all really acting like bitches. You know what I'm saying? Like, we live in a time where women now, they get in the bag. You know what I'm saying? They handling their business. They really on their shit right now. And then when I see niggas, all y'all niggas want to do is just fucking ha ha and kiki like little hoes. And y'all not providing good examples for your children. Y'all not providing good examples for the community that you say that you want to protect so bad. And then you ain't got the same smoke that you have for Megan Thee Stallion with these cops out there that are killing y'all wholesale. So what the fuck is it? You know what I'm saying? Like, like, I want it to get to a point where if we see some sucker shit like that, it's on sight. Like, it gets to a point where if anyone think that they can do some sucker shit like that, they have a very, very painful reminder of why that would not be in their best interest. And with that, I just want to say to Megan Thee Stallion that first of all, I'm glad she's alive, and I'm glad she can keep making music for us because she's one of the best rappers out right now, period, bar none. And I also want to, reiterate that a lot of us aren't like that. There's still a lot of brothers out here that don't condone that type of fuck shit. And I feel like we need to be loud in denouncing that shit. And we really, really, really need to crack down on the motherfuckers that think that shit is funny and, like getting that ass. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, fuck Tory Lanez.
Agreed.
The thing, Father, you said that I wanted to touch on was the most important. My point is the fact that there have been, because I've also been looking on Twitter, and I've also been seeing straight black men condemning what Tory Lanez did and supporting what Megan Thee Stallion did. Me myself, I just kept it simple. I said I believe Megan Thee Stallion because I'm sorry, Dion, but I also do. I've seen people with the Napoleon complex and just be wilding out on women for no fucking reason. And it's just like, and I don't, and the one thing I've always get mad at is just that just like Father said, there are men that condemn it and there are men that do something about it. My thing is, I feel like they go unappreciated when things like this happen because usually you get, and I think it's about a good 20% of the women that just hate men entirely. So they'll say things like, "Oh, this is why straight men are the weak link of the community," and uh, hate all men and men are trash. Those good 20% of women that just hate men entirely. And I feel like stuff like this, and I say this all the time. The one thing I don't need is for someone to push an agenda that we're trying to get rid of. And I feel like Tory doesn't help with doing this. It didn't help much. Not in the fact that I wasn't not really a big Tory Lanez fan anyway, so it just like. But even then, I try to keep an unbiased opinion. But at the same time, when I'm listening to it, just like, what does Megan have to lie for? We've seen her come out the chopper, and I've seen her like, and I'm not making fun of this, but when she was walking out and the bullets was on her feet and she was walking in concrete, she was basically walking like a woman who just got a mani pedi done. So it's just like I'm like you can see her feet bleeding, you can see the surgery. So obviously she wasn't bullshitting. You saw the pictures of her like getting out of surgery with her feet. So it's just like, yeah, I believe it. Now, do I still want to hear Tory Lane's side? Yeah, but I just want to hear him just admit his wrongdoings. Like Dion. This is one thing I will disagree with. All a nigga do got to say is they sorry and they back on top. Look at Chris Brown. Now, I don't mean to bring Chris Brown into this, but at the same time, like people with troubled past always, for some reason, people will forgive them just because they make
Chris
good
Brown didn't
music.
pull a gun on nobody, and Rihanna admitted to starting that shit, didn't she?
Yeah, but some
Okay,
people. Yeah, but some people still hold Chris Brown's head to that. Like they'll still bring it up. I love. Don't get me wrong. I fucks with Chris Brown. I'm probably the only people in my friend and circle of friends that still fuck with Chris Brown. But yeah, I like people do
I
blend that
fuck with
in.
Breezy too. I still
But yeah,
fuck with Rihanna. She's still one of my favorite female artists. I actually
yeah,
commend her for admitting to her role in that bullshit between her and Chris Brown.
yeah, and I do too. And but some people just let Chris Brown still have it and all the other stuff, and people just like they for some reason. It's funny. They was trying to get Chris Brown canceled along with this, and but that's not here and there. What I agree with, but I do agree with Father when he said this. I do feel like there should be like a purge or at least a talking to the way how like us men we gotta. I don't want to say take the society back, but you know make black women feel more protected when they're around us because that's the I've always said this. Like, I grew up with sisters. Obviously, father grew up with sisters. Dion has been around women that he's done protect. And one thing I've always like in my house we instill is make sure your sisters are protected, your family is protected. and all that other stuff. When I've gone to other places, like I've always said to myself, make sure if women are around me, make sure they are comfortable enough to where they can be themselves around you. Not, they don't have
Facts.
to like they don't have to fake who they have to be around you. And I always try to like anywhere I do, I try to make sure like they're in a comfortable environment. Now, am I a perfect dude? No, I'm not what you call a good guy. I have my past too, but I've always
Don't we all?
yeah, but I'm always like um I'm the guy that always say, look, there like I know like in this time of day, especially like there's a lot of dudes that's fucking up. There are men that out there that worship. I'm the dude that's telling you there are men that out there that worship black women and protect black women, and they're out there wanting to protect you. And I've always said this, I feel like those men don't get the credit they're due when like they do protect black women, and I want them to be recognized. It was like I feel like, and I hate saying this, we need to get away from the Pookies and Ray Rays and just get with stop talking about the Pookies and Ray Rays and start bringing in the dudes that do right in the community, that do right by black women, that do right, just to make sure you
Right.
feel comfortable around
Let's
them.
promote the ones that do what they actually supposed to do or whatever, and the ones that's bullshitting, they just need to fade into obscurity where they belong.
Right. And one thing I've seen this for a couple of people like Whack 100 when they was talking about Megan being a snitch. It was like, first of all, she's not a game, and I said this, she's not a game banger. She's not like in that like she don't really rap about that lifestyle. She's a rapper. It's like she's a civilian, so it's not
She
like.
she a
And
regular ass woman.
also, yeah, and also and no, because there was some women like there was a Toronto female rapper that was calling her a snitch too. She called her a rat. I think her name is Crohn's, but you wouldn't know her if you picked her out of a paper bag. But there are people like they're calling her a rat, and I'm like, nah, she's not a rat. First of all, this was already in the police report before Megan even said stuff, and even then, she like kept it G. And if we're being like real talk, she kept it G. So there's no reason that people should be calling her a rat and like this also proves that a lot of people shouldn't have Twitter. Like I've always said, they should have never gave some of y'all niggas Twitter, and because some of y'all just fuck it up for like
Oh,
everybody.
social media in general, I feel like it's just become a bane on people's existence, man.
I've said
Because of the
cesspool.
because of the bullshit that it it social media has made it easier to promote bullshit.
Yeah, I've used the word cesspool, but bang is also good. Um, um, like look, as I've always said, fuck with people to fuck with you. Be around people that like, cause I'm always about vibes. So anybody that gives me a bad vibe, I don't want to be around. So as always, I usually say fuck with people that fuck with you. Be around people that lets you be yourself and like keeps a positive energy, but yet keeps it real with you as always. So anybody got any words about this? Last
Tory
I
words.
just
Lanez
want
need
to
his ass beat.
I just want to say this one thing real quick. And, I just want to, like, really reiterate the fact that, like, the narrative against black men, black men, like, just being trash and, we don't protect black women and shit like that. I just want to say there's a difference between demonizing and holding something accountable. I've always said that accountability is not just collective, it's also personal. So while Tory Lane is under fire for the murder attempt of Megan Thee Stallion, I also want to stress that calling black men trash, calling black men weaklings, saying that the police is not killing us enough and shit like that, that's not holding anything accountable. As a matter of fact, that's counterproductive to the solution that you want to bring to the table. Black women are the most unprotected women on the planet. This is a fact. This cannot be disputed. But it doesn't do you any good to demonize black men because at the very end of the day, when they see a black woman, it's going to be a product of a black man and a black woman. So to demonize that, you know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't offer a solution. So what I think that needs to happen is that you can hold black men accountable. Like there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? I will always support holding black men accountable. But at the very same time, I just think that the rhetoric that is used to try to, get black men to change their ways, or like to bring to attention the shit that black men do and perpetuate that harms black women, it doesn't need to be it doesn't need to have the energy of, violence. You know what I'm saying? Because that would just be in the interest of the white supremacists that want to get rid of us. What we have to do is we just have to, like, be consistent in being loud and calling out the bullshit that happens between all people that is in the black community that perpetuate nonsense. If we want to do that specifically towards black men, we can totally do that. Again, I'm not completely opposed to that. You're gonna have niggas that's gonna do the not all. You're gonna have niggas that's gonna try and deflect. You're gonna have niggas that's gonna try and gaslight. But at the same time, we just need to stay on topic and have conversations with the right people, and not waste our time talking to people that's not going to understand you, or that's just going to view everything as a game. Because as I said before, there's a lack of masculinity in the black community. We've like they've always went to war against the black males in America in particular. We're the ones that go to jail the most. We're the ones that get killed by the cops the most. Like, these things happen to us. So as a result, a lot of these dudes don't grow up with their fathers, and a lot of those dudes who do grow up with their fathers didn't have the proper, like, foundation of masculinity that we need to, progress the community forward and to become the leaders that we were destined to be and shit like that. So I just think that it needs to be there needs to be a shift in, how we present our masculinity as black men. And it's probably time to do some soul searching and, realize that a lot of the shit that we do perpetuate does harm black women, and how do we reverse that type of, conditioning. Because at this point right now, we at war. It's life or death. We can't be having these gender wars anymore. Shit gotta change now.
To add to what you were saying and to kind of answer your question, you already answered your own question. It starts with us policing our own, dog. It starts with checking. I'm just gonna say a Tory Lane's ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? That does this type of negative shit. You know, and anyone who endangers a black woman in any way, shape, or form, go get this motherfucker.
Hey man, but as long as we have that objective in mind, let's act on it. I'm very proud of what I saw today, though. Like, yeah, black men, like, we did get slandered on the internet and shit like that. I won't even say slandered, but there was a lot of things said about black men. But at the same time, I'm very happy to see that there was a lot of black men that wasn't about that they actually held Tory Lanez accountable, and they really tried their best to ensure that, to tell people that they don't condone that type shit. We need more of that.
I agree with that as well. And on that note, I'd like to thank y'all for bringing in this little extra one. I personally felt like it couldn't have waited a week. Um, uh, I'd like to thank Dion and Father for jumping in, and I'd like to thank y'all listening to this little extra shit. So this is, you know what? Let me just say, podcast a little bit extra, and we signing out there. Peace.
Yep.